Signore e signori,
dichiaro aperti i 9 Giochi Paralimpici invernali.
Si sta avvicinando allo stadio.
Forza, forza!
Vai, 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 vai!
Dal record della pista! Record della pista!
Primo!
Buongiorno and welcome to Keep the Flame Alive's Day 2 coverage of the Milano Cortina 2026 Winter Paralympic Games. I am your host, Jill Jarris, coming to you from Schuckflastan House in Venezia Mestre, joined as always by my lovely co-host, Alison Brown. Alison, ciao, como stai?
Doing so much better than yesterday.
Yes.
Dramamine is a wonder drug.
We also had a good Giuseppe today.
We had a very gentle Giuseppe in the evening, which made sleep very helpful. So I'm tired, but I'm not absolutely wiped out because I was starting to fall asleep at curling.
Oh, yeah,
And then they started smacking rocks and that helped.
But the morning Giuseppe, man.
Because we keep, so Giuseppe in the morning, and we really probably should call him Giacomo because he's the same one every time. We've had him every morning.
But he's been in a different type of bus, it feels like, because we had a panoramic bus today. And maybe I just haven't noticed the panorama before.
Maybe we haven't sit so far forward before.
Okay.
But it's the same driver with his cigarette and his really loud phone calls and his very loud music.
I love the music, though.
The music was great. The music was like for me, it was like being back in college. It was all these songs I haven't heard since the late 80s. It was fantastic.
And even better, the volunteers who were in like their late teens, early 20s, knew all the words. So they were singing along to I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston.
It was fantastic. They were a great addition this morning. They definitely brought the energy up on the bus. And more importantly, I didn't get sick.
That's very important. Except for Giacomo in the morning he has been late every day. So
he really pushed it today.
Today he was a half an hour late. Before it was 15 minutes, then 20 minutes. Now we were a full 30 minutes late. We also stopped for gas. And
a bathroom break.
Yes, we do make stops along the way to pick other people up. And we had an emergency situation for the bathroom at stop number 1. So we're finally getting into the mountains, and I look at the time on the clock, and it's like the time we're supposed to be in Cortina. And then I look at the map, and we're 40 minutes away.
Oh, no.
And just about that time, Giacomo started speeding up. Like he realized he had to get to Cortina tout sweet. And it wasn't that late. Just about
maybe 15. We certainly made up at least 15, 20 minutes along the way.
Yes, we still were late to Parasnowboard. We would have been on time to Parasnowboard, but we were late.
But we only missed one set of quarterfinals.
Yeah, we didn't miss very much, so that was great. The first time in the mountains for you.
It was. I climbed the mountain.
And also a boatload of janky stairs that we have neglected to talk about.
Yes, well, not to worry. The janky stairs are featured prominently in the newsletter and will be again. They were featured yesterday. There will be another set discussion of them tomorrow because I had a different newsletter planned for today. Because it was not only janky stairs. Well, I'll just tease this. It was not just janky stairs. Mm-hmm. It was a whole trussle.
Yes, we have to go over the road in janky stairs. So and it's a picture.
We've got photos. And
there's also a little escalator in this track,
which I did not get a photo of. So if you're back up there tomorrow, try and remember to get a photo of the escalator, because the escalator also slightly janky and a little frightening because it vibrated. I don't know if you noticed this. It not only went up and down, it also went slightly side to side.
I did not notice. Maybe that's because it's really short and you go, why is there an escalator here? But it must be steep enough.
And if you had skis and a helmet and you're trying to get to the gondola, you want to make that as convenient as possible for the skiers. Like, we have to remember this is a working ski resort. It's not usually for this kind of event, because today actually
Usually for one dumpy media person hauling around with band stuff in her pockets.
you were contraband left and right
It
today.
was a bad day. I'm gonna let this cookie go through.
You got scolded for your cookie.
A little bit, but they were like, oh,
Maybe they just wanted the cookie.
I would not be surprised. But made it to snowboard.
Made
And
it
you
to
were
snowboard.
moving at quite a clip. I was impressed.
Was I?
Yes, because I'm a very slow getting myself up the mountain person.
I don't like to be slow, because if I lose momentum, then I'm going to slide back down the mountain. So I think sometimes I move quickly, because I think if I get to the flat surface faster, then I'll be safer.
Okay.
I think that's really my thinking, because I've had the tumbling backwards experience and I don't want to experience that again. Thanks very much.
All right. Well, we will get to more of our time in the mountain during Paris Snowboard. Did we forget anything yesterday?
I don't think we did.
I don't think we did either. That's pretty good.
I'm going to be excited for that.
And if I forgot something, I don't remember, and that's
okay.
Dust in the wind. All right. Before we get to today's results, we would like to take a moment to say thank you for everybody who has donated financially to get this little independent podcast to Milano Cortina. Thank you to those of you who have signed up for our Patreon program, including listener Alison, who signed up today.
Thank you, Alison.
That we'll be getting some stuff out to you. That has really helped us, because there are real costs involved with putting on this show, and we would love to keep going until LA 2028. So if you have appreciated the coverage we have brought you, particularly live from the train station.
I still can't believe we did that. Honestly, there's a piece of me that can't believe we haven't had to do that before.
Yeah, that's really it. And if you appreciate the coverage we've given you so far, please consider donating to the show. You can find the links at flamealivepod.com. All right, today's results. We had a bunch of parabiathlon today.
Yes, so we've had women's individual sitting, and the gold went to Yoonji Kim from Korea, silver to Anja Vicker from Germany, and bronze to Shuklastan, also the U.S., Kendall Gretsch. Oksana Masters finished fourth, and she wasn't disappointed with her fourth place finish. She said that fourth, with the circumstances that I have, I'll take. And she had some challenges, and apparently she can't hold her pole, and she has to be taped to the pole, which I'm slightly confused about, because then how do you switch to the rifle?
I wonder if it's the hand that holds the rifle.
And then she continues to hold the pole at the same time.
Right.
We'll have to watch.
Yeah, because remember how she was taped up at Pyeongchang.
Yeah, she was held together with spit and tape and a prayer. So she said that her tape job today wasn't as good and that her hand cramped up. So she was really proud of herself, as she should be. Fourth place is no joke in these races.
And then continuing its individual day in biathlon. So we had the men's sitting. China's Li Zhizhu won gold. Silver went to Mao Zhongwu from China, and bronze went to Taurus Rod from Ukraine, who I believe we mentioned yesterday.
Yes, he won the gold yesterday, I think.
And China is really cleaning up in biathlon.
Yes, and actually I saw a couple of different comments by various Chinese biathletes and Ukrainian biathletes saying how much they love the competition between the two teams.
Oh, nice.
That they're really enjoying, oh, you're a very strong team, we're a very strong team. Who's going to come out on top with more biathlete medals?
Nice.
So it seems like a nice, friendly rivalry. And our Aaron Pike finished fourth, which I think is one of his best finishes in biathlon over his 427-year-long career.
Taurus Rod also said today the weather was different and was harder because it's warmer.
It was warm up. We both took our coats off and up in the mountain, I was sweating today, and it was supposedly 39 degrees. But I think that was a big fat lie, because in the sun, people were slopping on the sunscreen and sweating to death.
In the women's individual standing, gold went to Canada's Natalie Wilkie. Silver went to Zhao Jiqing from China, who is a repeat silver. She said she missed a shot and got distracted, and and her gun jammed in the final round of shooting.
Oy.
So that was a tough day, and to come out with silver, that's pretty good.
That'll distract you.
And bronze went to Alexandra Kononova from
Ukraine.
Natalie Wilkie said she's been wearing glitter.
Glitter is a theme this time around. We're seeing a lot of the Brenna Huckabee had on glitter. Even some of our press people had on, or the press attachés had on glitter.
Yes. So Natalie's been wearing it. She picked silver the other day and won a silver. And so she picked gold today. And
well, smart move, Natalie, because you ended up with the gold. Yeah. So both Kononova and Wilkie medaled the other day, so we get to see some repeat medalists, which is exciting, but it's nice to see Natalie upgrade.
In the men's individual standing, gold went to Kai Jiang-yun from China, which is his second gold of these games. Silver went to Mark Aarons from Canada. He was fifth in his previous race, so this is a better result for him. Also adding on another medal to his total career score of 13. So, wow.
I thought that name looked a little familiar.
Yeah, right. I do remember that. And then bronze went to Germany's Marco Meyer. This is his second bronze of the games, and he is the para-Nordic skier wearing shorts because it's so warm.
Yes, and he has said yesterday he didn't like wearing the shorts, but the shorts seem to be working for him. He seems to be doing quite well in the shorts. And Kai also mentioned that he had to change his tactics from his first race, which I don't really know why, because he won gold the first time around, but he felt like he needed to do something different this time. So he was going to go a little slower at the beginning and faster at the end and try and be stable in the shooting range, to which I say, isn't that what you do all the time? And that's how you won a gold the other day.
I don't know. Maybe he went out fast and then nobody could catch up.
And then he couldn't draft and burn himself out a little bit. But it seems to be working for you.
In the women's individual visually impaired class, Wang Hui from China won her second gold of these games.
Oh.
Simona Bubekanova from Czechia won silver, and Johanna Rechtenwald from Germany won bronze. She had 2 fourth-place finishes at Beijing.
Yes, and she talked about how frustrating that was, but that she didn't let it stop her from continuing to train and train hard with the goal of getting a medal and breaking through that 4th-place wall. So nice job for her.
Nice job. For the men's individual visually impaired, gold went to China's Deng Haesong. Silver went to Ukraine's Maxim Murashkovsky, and bronze went to Dmytro Swarko. The last race, Dmytro was 5th and got the bronze today, so that was also nice for him. And he had some issues. The Ukrainian delegation had some issues because last night Russia attacked the country with a bunch of drones and missiles, and today has not been very easy for the Ukrainian delegation. And today he said, I didn't want to start, but my guide said, okay, start running, start shooting, and we're doing it. Basically.
Yeah, sometimes you just need that person who knows what you want and knows what you want to achieve. I mean, clearly he wants to be here, he wants to race, but the weight of what is happening in Ukraine, we saw it last time around in Beijing.
Yes.
How sometimes they could not start. I remember there was that one athlete whose father was captured and chose not to race, and that there were many situations like that. So you're worried about your family, you're worried about your home, you're worried about your friends, but you're here to do something and you've got to do it. So the guide is just like, just race, just focus on the race.
Okay, moving over to para snowboard.
Yes.
So what do you think? Okay, so we got there, and this was unlike yesterday. The mixed zone is jam-packed
and hot, because it was hot today. it was frustrating because we really could not see any. We were basically watching a television with announcers that were on a different schedule than our television, in that they were a few seconds ahead. So we'd be watching a race and they would announce the finish.
Not just a few seconds. It was like 10 seconds. So if you have feed beefs, we have feed beefs and we're watching it and we're there.
But the problem is we could see about half a second of them coming over that last roller.
Right.
From where we were forced to stand.
So the feed, this was I don't think you could see this because of where your height.
I was going to say, are you trying to be nice and say I couldn't see it because I'm short?
So we have the announcer who still sounds like an AI voice.
Dull as dishwater.
Yeah, he does not seem to know anything about the sport, but was hired because he has a nice voice. I don't know. Or he's AI. That's other possibility. We had our feed. I realized he's telling us they've started, and I look and they're just getting into the start gates. Our feed was like 10 seconds behind both him and the big screens. Because I could see the big screens and I'd be like, oh, they started. And then I'd look at our thing and they're still getting ready. And it was so hard because then you didn't know when they were going to come over the rise so that you could quick look up and see a couple of seconds of actual race. And oh my gosh, that was so hard to deal with.
Very frustrating.
And you couldn't, at least I could not take the part of my brain that was listening to the announcer and put that in my brain to store for 10 seconds later when I would be seeing it on my screen.
Well, then each time you saw it on your screen, it was a surprise with somebody won, even though he just announced it. And also, we weren't seeing the same thing, as you said, with the big screen, so that the crowd that was just behind us who could see the big screen would react, and then the mix zone would react several seconds later. So it was a very Twilight Zone existence, where you have reality, one screen and a different screen, and three groups of people are all reacting to it at different times because of what they're seeing.
Yes. And then you took one look at that screen and during the first race and said,
I don't remember what I said.
Well, let me. Oh, the course is really easy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you noticed it right away.
After that first race, I thought to myself, they barely look like they're bouncing over rollers, and the speed was so slow. So we were talking to another journalist, and he said they deserve better.
Yeah.
And I couldn't agree more.
Yeah. And they really only had one huge jump right at the beginning thing that they had to climb up. And I think they call that a step up. But
listen to you.
Well, I'm trying to sound a little smart here. But it was a lot of rollers and a lot of turns, not a lot of places to get speed, not a lot of places to pass. So there were a lot of races where if you got out into the lead, you were almost guaranteed to win. Almost.
Right. There was a little bit of passing that happened toward the last third of the race. That seemed to be where there were some passes made at the very end. But yeah, they really struggled to get some speed going, and that was probably incredibly frustrating, and actually probably made it more difficult, because if you're used to a faster speed and now you're functioning with less velocity, how do you maintain the balance if you're used to going faster? Right.
And Noah Elliott told us in the mix zone that he had tweaked his knee, the knee that is the prosthetic is a different pressure than he normally races with because the snow was so slushy.
Right. He said there was a little bit of ice on top, but then it got slushy. And then he said as the day went along, because they do quarter, semis, and finals, he said it just got slushier and slushier because that sun was just beaten down clear. There was not a cloud in the sky, which was beautiful. It was a gorgeous day up on the mountain, but made for some difficult racing for them.
Yeah. Tough day. In the women's snowboard cross, they only have one classification. Brenna Huckabee's still the only person that is racing in this classification that is not an LL2.
Yes, she's an LL1.
She had a medal in Beijing. She did not medal here. She was in the small final though.
Yes.
But gold went to Cecile Hernandez from France. She's 51 years old.
Yes.
Silver went to Kate Delson from USA, who is 20 years old. And bronze went to Wang Zhenyu from China. And the only really cool thing about where the mix zone is the podiums are directly behind us. So the medal ceremony happened there, and the podiums are within the boundary of the Paralympic family zone. So we have all these Paralympic family delegates who are cheering for their people, which was awesome because the Swiss brought cowbells.
Yes.
And then we had the front row view of all of the medal ceremonies, and Cecile's daughter somehow snuck into the mix zone, pushed her way in front of me, and had a big flag with her mom's face on it, and she is sobbing
uncontrollably and so emotional. And when her mother came out to receive her medal, her mother is sobbing pretty heartily.
I thank goodness I had sunglasses and could just cover up the tears in my eyes.
It was very overwhelming, and they're motioning to one another, no, this medal is for you. No, this medal's for you. So the mother is saying to her daughter, I'm dedicating this medal to you. And the daughter is saying to the mother, no, I do everything for you. So it was and this is an adult daughter because she's 51. So her daughter was probably in
early
20.
20s.
Yes, she looked about 20. And just the anthem comes on and she tries to sing, but she's crying too hard to sing.
And trying to take a video too.
Trying to video this all at the same time. So I give her credit because she was balancing a camera, her tears, her amazing eyelashes, and her flag all at once.
Right. And then somebody is trying to interview her as well from France. There was a lot going on in front of us.
So yeah, it was actually a really beautiful moment that we don't usually get to see, and certainly don't usually get to see quite that close up. And to feel the emotion between the two of them was pretty special.
Yeah. In the men's, so the men have 3 different classifications. So the upper limb, China's got silver and gold. Ji Lija defended his title for gold. Zhu Yonggang won silver, and Aaron Farney from Switzerland won the bronze, which caused a lot of cowbells.
And also a lot of excitement in our little section of Media Tribune because we were with the Swiss.
Yes.
So they were quite excited by this medal. And apparently there's going to be a humdinger. I don't know if that's what you say in Switzerland, but of a party tonight at Swiss House.
Yes. In the LL1 category, China's Wu Zhongwei won gold. Noah Elliott from Shuklistan and USA won silver, which now gives him a full set, which he actually mentioned.
He did, and I appreciated that he mentioned it. So he came through the mix zone, so we got to talk to him a little. Him and his amazing mustache.
Yes.
Got to talk to them for a few minutes, and I think he realized he had a full set as we were talking because he's like, "Oh, I got a silver, I have a gold and bronze. Now I have a whole little set." And I'm thinking to myself, You are coming to the realization of how cool this is at this moment, and I am enjoying this.
And Tyler Turner from Canada, who was the champion in Beijing, he got the bronze.
I thought it was very interesting. He was much taller than most of the other competitors, and I want to ask him, not that I'll get a chance, but maybe I will. Is that an advantage or a disadvantage?
Very good question.
When you're snowboarding, does it help to have that higher center of gravity, or does a lower center of gravity make you faster?
Well, that's on the list.
That's on the list.
All right. And in the LL2 category, gold went to Emmanuel Perathoner from Italy. So the home crowd goes wild, except for not as wild as Cecile Hernandez's daughter, which surprised me. And then silver went to Ben Tuddup from Australia, who won bronze at Beijing, so he stepped up a bit. And the Australians were there in full force.
They were, and they were loud. They were very loud when we were in the mix zone trying to talk to people, too.
So beyond the fact that music was still playing, so we can't use the tape on the air, we'll figure out something about this tape. And then bronze went to Lee Jae-yuk from Korea. So the Italian manual marathoner, he competed at the 2014 and 2018 Olympics. And in 2021, he had a bad training accident that sent him on his Paralympic journey.
Yeah, he had a knee replacement. So he has a bionic knee like Lindsey Vonn. And it's enough of a disability that he is now a Paralympian.
So nice to have an Italian gold medal right there in front of us.
Always great when the home crowd wins a medal and the home crowd gets to enjoy it, and we get to see that, because as I noticed that the version of the Italian anthem that they use is especially long and has a lot of flourishes, and the Italian crowd loves every second of it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So we do need to talk about the medal ceremony since we're here. Because
the medal ceremonies that took forever.
Well, I also still have the opening music in my head. The two phrases, I can't get past that. I don't know the rest of the music, and it's killing me right now. This is not Paris, I will tell you that. This is not horrible, the threads, but I can't, it's just not memorable at all. We got to talk about the podium people.
Podium people were not doing a very good job today.
What
Okay, so there was two problems. One, they stood so the metal and toy people, yes, the tray people stood so close together that they couldn't walk around one another. And they kept bumping into the podium every time that they went to walk past it with their two colored pants that looked dirty.
Okay, the pants in person in the sunlight are
bad.
They are navy, they are shiny, but they change color in the light to brown. So it looks like the brown of their coat collar.
Yes, so it's an iridescent fabric where you interweave the two colors.
Ugh.
Which can be quite pretty if you interweave them with good colors. Like sometimes you'll see a blue and a pink interwoven. It gives this really metallic effect. This just ended up looking like dirt was on their pants when they walked.
Yeah, and the puffy coats are not great. It did not help that an Italian was on the podium in that sharp Armani outfit. And you could tell like the difference between a design house with decades of experience versus a student who won a competition.
And one group of volunteers was telling the medalists to do one thing, and the other volunteer was telling them to do something else when they walked. That's why some of them were so confused about where they were supposed to walk.
Right, because this podium was smallish, and it has a ramp behind it. And so the athletes were supposed to stand on the ramp and then kind of go over the ledge of the lip of the ramp to be on the actual podium. And some of them finally said, no, I don't want to because I don't want to fall or trip or something on the podium. And that made it kind of difficult. And I thought to myself, is this really supposed to be for a wheelchair maybe? But I don't think so. I think this one was designed for prosthetics, but it looked weird. I mean, and that's not a nice way to say it, but it was complicated and clumsy.
Well, I think the problem was the way that they walked out, they should have walked around the lip and not walked over the lip. So one of the volunteers was telling them, no, stand back behind the lip. But I don't think that was actually what they were supposed to do because that didn't work with how they were lining up. So they were getting mixed information. So they were all confused. And they also have to think about, gee, I'm standing on two prosthetic legs and I don't want to fall in front of everybody and possibly hurt myself for this medal ceremony. I'm just going to do what's going to work for me.
Yeah. It was not particularly well designed. And it's in a tight space, too, because there just wasn't a whole lot of room for anybody to move. The athletes are walking, like, through the Paralympic family to get to the medals, and it just was very, very tight. One nice spot that you had was the coat rack.
So along the way, there was a rolling coat rack with all the flags with little metal hangers. No metal hangers. No, these had hangers, but they were clipped on like a skirt hanger.
Yes.
And they were just prepared for this situation.
They were, because the flags were kind of behind us.
Yes, we could see them when they hit the top of the pole, but not prior to that.
So seeing the coat rack of flags, that was quite a nice treat.
That was a little bonus.
So yeah, interesting medal ceremony, and it's nice to have a whole bunch of them, and people were thrilled. Everyone was happy. It didn't matter what place they came in. It was pretty awesome. So I'm looking forward to seeing some more. Maybe in clouds. That would be nice. Wheelchair curling, the team had 2 sessions today. They had the morning and the evening, and then the doubles had the middle session, which we caught some of.
Yeah, we caught about half of that session.
Yeah. So that was good. So in the team in the morning, actually, the team, all 2 sessions together, Sweden beat Latvia 10-2 in six ends. They were up 8-0 by the third. So this was not going to be a good day for Latvia. China beat Italy 5-3 in 7 ends, and it was 1-1 after 2, but then China scored points in the next 4 ends to go up 5-1. Italy got 2 in the 7th, but then in the 8th, China knocked their stones out of contention midway through, so that was a concession. Slovakia beat Norway 6-4. They were down 4-0, but got 6 points in the last 2 ends.
Wow.
That was a game. Canada beat Great Britain 5-4. Halfway through, they were up 2-1, and then Great Britain was ahead for 3 ends. They got up 4-2, and then Canada scored 3 in the 8th. Got it. And then they went on to beat Norway 9-2, got 6 points in the 6th end, and Norway said, "That's it, we're done."
How is that even possible? I didn't think you could do that.
I know, that was crazy. And then China beat Korea 7-5. That one went down to the end, and then Korea just missed their last shot, and that was the game. So standings now, we have 3 teams that are 3-0. That's Canada, China, and Sweden. Slovakia is 2-1. Great Britain, Korea, Latvia, the U.S. are all 1-2, and Italy and Norway are both 0-3. So in the double session, we had China beat Great Britain 10-5 in 7 ends, and at the end of 3, Great Britain was up 5-1, and then China came out.
China decided, I am done with you, Great Britain.
Yes.
I am going to make you lose.
Yes.
Which they've done more than once, where the first couple ends are close or they're down, and then they just roar back out at the end and take care of business.
The Stones finally listened to them. Because everyone is yelling at the Stones.
The yelling that's going on, but the yelling can't do anything. But clearly they think the yelling does.
Latvia beat Korea 5-4, and this was a really tight match. We were watching USA Italy on the sheet closest to us, and all of a sudden I heard this squeal, and I'm like, oh, Latvia won.
And Latvia is not a loud team. We don't usually hear a peep from them, so she was pretty excited about that one.
Yeah. Japan beat Estonia 8-3. So this one was just over after 7 ends. Estonia has done this multiple times where they're just like, we are playing.
Yeah, they don't concede. And you don't have to. There's no rule saying you have to concede. It's kind of a courtesy. So if they choose not to and they want to keep throwing, then you got to keep throwing.
And they went well into the 8th before they said, okay, we're not going to win. It's obvious. So that was an 8-3 win for Japan, and then USA Italy, which pretty full house today.
Yes,
mostly Italian fans, including
Italia,
including a bunch of school kids who loved cheering and making everybody else cheer.
Yes,
and they hated Laura Dwyer's family,
who kept cheering USA, USA. So anytime the American fans would chant USA, this group of kids would get up and start screaming Italia, Italia, until they drowned them out and got the whole crowd going. And there were a few other Italia chants that I don't recall at the moment, but they would break one out
Right,
They would
right.
vary it. They were very clever
They
with their
were.
cheers because they didn't just do the same one over and over again.
Yeah.
They broke it up a little bit.
Right. Americans, just in general, we need more cheers than USA.
Yes, we got to do better.
We've got to have something else for LA 2028. What I loved was I think there was one point where the US scored. It was mid-game and the US scored and USA started cheering. not Steve and Laura, but the fans started cheering and Italy had no Italia back.
Yeah,
for
they were
that
just
one.
like, okay, we'll let you have your moment. But it was quite a game. Came down to the last stone, and then the Italians just blew the throw.
Yeah.
Just made a mistake, and we all couldn't believe it.
Yeah, because they had been very, very, very
precise.
sharp.
Yes.
I have to say, I question whether the team of Orietta Berto and Paolo Iurati is actually Italian,
Why?
because they are stone-faced. There's no possible way an Italian can be stone-faced for that long.
And repeatedly.
Yes, they are all about business.
They are.
They do not emote for anything. And
No. And not even with each other.
No.
They are very even and very steady. And I hadn't noticed it now until you just said that, yeah, they don't smile. They don't do anything. Nothing. She drinks water.
Yes, she does.
It's really funny. Whenever I have noticed that when she becomes a little when it's a stressful throw, she always takes her sip of water to like replenish her soul almost. And then she could throw the stone.
But but I do like watching them because they are so serious. Which is, and I get like the male counterpart of the Estonian team also quite serious.
Oh, he's terrifying.
He's terrifying because he just won't give up.
No.
He is there and determined and competitive. And I'm sorry that Estonia is not doing as well as his competitive streak is. Standings right now, China is still the only unbeaten team at 6-0. Great Britain. Oh, did we say USA? Oh, we did say USA 175.
Yes.
Okay. Great Britain, Japan, Korea, Latvia, and the U.S. are all 3-3, and Estonia is 2-4, and Italy is 1-5. This is going to be a battle to get into the medal round.
Yeah, that 3-3 bunch are all kind of sitting there together. So each round, and Steve and Laura both said this early on, that this is it's a long tournament. And a lot of teams are very good. So you can see how so many teams being bunched together like that shows how even the competition is.
Yeah.
And that it's going to be, one or two lucky breaks that are going to make that difference between in the medal rounds and not.
Yeah. But it's exciting. The Steve and Laura, thrilled. They really shot well today. And they were a lot of fun to talk with
As always.
So that is the end of competition for today. Who's coming on tomorrow?
Well, geez, Steve and Laura are back tomorrow, this time against China. And then tomorrow, Team USA's para hockey team is back. They will play Germany. So we'll see Declan Farmer, Malik Jones, and Jack Wallace.
Whoop, whoop. And we have shout outs.
Yes. So first up is Dan from Brooklyn, New York.
Like Dan Knosson, para-Nordic skier at 2014, 2018, 2022. He has 2 golds, 4 silvers, and 1 bronze, and is a former Navy SEAL.
And then next up is Benjamin Smith from Charlotte, North Carolina.
We will be going with David Smith, bocce player from Great Britain. He's been in 5 games, starting with Beijing 2008. He has 3 golds, 1 silver, and 2 bronze. You might remember him if you watched a lot of bocce because he dyes his hair funky.
Oh, yes.
You know that guy.
I do. And then last up for our shout outs is Rosie W. in Verschark, Vermont, who is trying to indoctrinate her 6-year-old daughter into also loving the Olympics. And I hope also loving the Paralympics while we're at it.
Yes. And there is a Rosie Louisa Jones, who is a British comedian, writer, and actress with cerebral palsy, who was a roving reporter at Tokyo 2020 for the last leg. But let's look out for Rosie Long, who is a potential wheelchair basketball player for Canada. She's competed for Team Canada at the 2025 Osaka Cup. So if things keep going her way, she keeps working hard, doing well.
She gets indoctrinated.
Yes, she could be at LA 2028. You never know.
Next up is Valia Roberts from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, and she volunteered at the speed skating during the Olympics, and she had to do the walk.
She did have to do the walk a lot.
Maybe she helped others as she guided them through the walk.
Yeah, Valia, give us a shout and let us know how that walk was every shift. And we will be going with Jaylene Roberts from the USA, who competed at Tokyo 2020 and Paris 2024 in long jump and the 200 meters. She has 3 silvers and 1 bronze. And we have a mascot.
Mascot of the day is Wolfgang von Pfaffel. He is a parsley-loving guinea pig who was rescued from the Chicago parks. And we do love our guinea pigs here in Shuklistan.
We do. So next time we have mascots, if you got a guinea pig...
We're ready.
Yes. And that is going to do it for this episode. Oh, you know what? Before I forget, we did have comments on the clothing, the attire. I think we'll the podium people. I think we'll collect those for tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm going to remember now so I don't forget later.
Understood.
Something like that. But tomorrow, that's a forward promo. For all of you, we'll tease that. So if you got thoughts about those podium people outfits and how they look on the screens, let us know. Because in person up close, person far away, they were okay.
I kind of liked them far away, but up close they don't fit well. They have puddle pants where the pants were all too long for them.
They are not the 1924 people.
No,
I'll tell you that. Or the Beijing.
Oh, the Beijing ladies.
You're gonna. That's tough to beat that one. Anyway, that's going to do it for this episode. If you would like even more of the most fun coverage of the game, hit us up. We are at flamealivepod.com. That's your source for our socials, our newsletter, which Alison has been putting out daily and is a lot of fun to read. And if you like janky stairs,
you got more janky stairs probably coming tomorrow.
Because boy, do we like climbing them. And there's janky stairs, and we're getting into janky rubber mats, and all sorts of fun. So be sure to sign up for the newsletter.
See if our ankles survive.
And then other ways to directly contact us. Be sure to join our Facebook group. That's Keep the Flame Alive Podcast. That's where we're posting things first and chatting with everybody, and get in on the know there and get in on the fun, because it's a fun group to be with. So be sure to tune in tomorrow, and hopefully we will remember to talk about the puddle people. That's what I call them now, the podium people, and what you think about them. Grazie mille por l'ascolto.
And until next time, ciao, and keep the flame alive.